Hey guys, do you own a G27 or G29 steering wheel? Well, today I'm going to show you 3 simple mods that you can do to improve your driving experience. So these are the 3 mods that I've got. The first one are these paddle shift adapters. These go onto the original paddle shifters and actually extend it out and give you these larger paddles as well. So because I've got an aftermarket steering wheel which brings it closer to me, you can't actually grab the paddles. So this is a great upgrade for that. Secondly, I've got this shifter upgrade adapter that bolts onto where the original shifter is. And it also comes with this extension piece to actually raise the height of the shift knob. And the last upgrade I've got is this GTI non-linear spring. So this spring I just got on eBay along with these other mods as well, and as you can see here, the spring has 2 different spring rates. So the spring is much more tighter on this end and less tight on the other end. So that means when you apply the pedal, it's going to feel differently at the start compared to at the end. The original spring looks just like this end, and it's a linear spring, so no matter how hard you press on it, it's going to feel the same right at the initial bite and all the way at the end of the travel. So now we'll go ahead inside. Alright, so the first mod we're going to move on to is the paddle shifter extension. So as you can see here, I've actually had to bolt the 2 pieces together. It's actually an M5 bolt with a nut on the back of it to join the 2 pieces together. This was the kit that I purchased from Bunnings, and I'm just using the nut and the bolt together, and the 2 pieces assemble, bolt together like that. So I believe now that this piece here just clicks into the hole at the back, and you can see here the plastic clip has actually gone around and held itself in. So this is what it looks like, and now you can see how much further forward the paddle has actually come, and with the steering wheel now you can actually use the paddle shifter. So now we'll just repeat the process for the other side. So this is what the paddles look like now from the driving perspective, and you can see how much easier it is to grab both of those paddles there. Instead of having to reach like that, now you can just play like normal. So next we're going to move on to the shifter modification here. So we'll need to remove the original shift knob. If you have the stock one, you'll have to pop the cap off the top that shows the numbers, and then you can undo the long bolt that holds the knob on. In my case, mine's just held on by these Allen bolts around the side there. And now we can move on to removing these 6 bolts here. The Allen key is actually included in the set. And we can take the shift boot off, and you can actually see what it looks like in there now without the boot on it. So now we get the new shift adapter. Face over. So now at this point you can decide whether you just want to put the shifter back on at the original height, or whether you want to use the adapter and raise the height of the shifter. So if you decide you want to use the extension piece, the female part goes over the existing rod, and this extended screw then goes through the top of the shift knob down and does up into the original metal base. Or in my case, I'm just going to add my aftermarket shift knob to the top of the rod. It looks like this. And you can see in here that these sections are actually cut out. So when you shift, it actually feels like there's a center position, and these notches cut out here give it like a gated feeling. But as you can hear, there's more notchiness now in the shifter, and I actually prefer the height now is actually a lot more comfortable. So like when you're going from the shift knob to the steering wheel, the height's a lot better rather than going down here, and the height matches with the e-brake a lot better as well. There's less height discrepancy between the two. So moving on to the last mod, the non-linear spring, we'll have to unbolt the pedals from the sim rig to take the cover off and get access to the spring. Only remove the screws shown in the video here. You don't want to remove the other larger ones in the middle, as it'll make the pedals loose and more difficult to remove later. Screws, you'll be able to flip it over and lift off the plastic cover once you've removed the pedal covers. There's just 2 Allen head bolts holding the 3 pedal covers on. Now you can finally lift it off. Just be careful of the wires that are still attached, and you'll have to remove the 4 larger screws holding the pedal down to the base. Now you can remove the bolt and remove the old spring. Here you can see comparison of the two, and you can go ahead and pop in the new spring. Reinstall the bolt. And tighten the nut. And reverse the process, installing the screws and the plastic cover. If you didn't know when you're reinstalling these pedals, there's actually 3 positions for each of the pedals. So depending on your size of foot or how you like to drive, you can actually reposition these wherever you like them. Really happy with how the new H pattern shifter feels. Definitely took me a couple of minutes just to get used to the notchiness and the gated pattern of it, but highly recommend. Also the paddles, now I can finally use the paddles again. I don't use it much for Forza, but when I'm playing F1 games then I want to use it. and also the brake pedal. At first it felt a bit stiff, but I actually like it. When you first applied the brake pedal, it's soft, and then it gets harder as you press it. So I actually found I was locking up the brakes a lot less. So it's definitely a must-do mod as well. If you enjoy these videos, check out this other video of me actually building the sim rig and another one of me modifying it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video.